Done?
Yeah.
Right, so Georgie, this is an Atlantic salmon. This is a farm salmon. Salmon prices have gone up dramatically in the last 12 months, by about 40%. There's been problems in Chile over the last few years with diseases, so of course the market, there's more people that want it than there is salmon growing. These have been humanely stunned. They do a percussion stun to knock them out, and then they cut the gill. You can see in there the gill's been cut, and that's to get all the blood out of the flesh, so that when George prepares it in a minute, you'll see it's bright orange flesh. So I'll hand you over to George, and I'll talk you through what he's doing. I'm just going to go and find this crap that you can see. So get scaling first. Yeah. So he's going to stake the fish first. All fish have scales, so obviously to get the knife to go through nice and evenly, you remove the scales, and people don't like eating scales anyway.
Great to see a young man. Great to show a young man.
Scales are like that. Scales, if you find them in the kitchen years after you've eaten fish, they're still...
They've been somewhere.
Yes. And scaling fish is the worst.
It's better.
Okay, so I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Do you know what, George? It's great to see a young man filleting and scaling.
So George and I did raise some money for charity for the Fisherman's Mission. They have a thing on in June called Fish Friday, where they raise money to invest back into the industry for people who have fallen on hard times or been injured and killed at sea. And we were scaling salmon in Tesco's head office, and they foolhardily put us outside the restaurant. And as Paul just described, there's still some scales there now, 7 years later. So once it's scaled, we'll get rid of all the scales. A good way of scaling, if you don't want to get scales everywhere, is to do it in a sink under running water, or also you can do it inside a carrier bag or a bin liner, because you don't need to sink the food really. So what he's going to do now, he'll trim all the fins off, the tail, the fins, and then eventually remove the head. And we're going to take half a dozen steaks off the top end, and then he's going to fill off the tail. So a salmon like this in the UK, that's probably a 5 to 6 kilo, would probably cost you around 40 or 50 pounds, but that would feed upwards, and you'll get over 20 meals out of that, so it's actually really good value for money. So he's cutting right into the back of the head to maximise the yield, because when you pay 40 or 50 pounds, you want to get as much off there as you can to eat. Quite a lot of Chinese people in the UK now, and they like salmon heads. They make soup out of them, or they roast them in the oven. They cut them in half first, then roast them in the oven with garlic. So what he's going to do now is trim the belly flaps off. And in the UK, where they commercially process salmon, they send these belly flaps off to different parts of the world, but again China, and they make soup out of them. And some countries actually smoke the belly flap itself. So they'll just actually smoke that, hot smoke it, and then eat it. So there's nothing wrong with that, it's lovely for me. Because when he steaks it, the legs will be too long. And there's quite a high content of fat in the belly as well. Just going to cut the cost to straighten it up. And then with the steaks, you want to make them all even. It doesn't matter whether they're thick or thin, but they all need to be the same size, because otherwise when you cook them in the oven, one will cook and one won't as well cooked. No. Again, people are really frightened of the bone, but the reality is when you cook that, once that's cooked in the oven, all you do is get a fork, push it in the middle and twist it out, and it brings all the bone out.